I got into a fight, a tussle, a row, if you will. We don't really use row in America, do we? It's more of a British thing. British need all the love they could get right now, right? I get into a row with a company because they charged me for a subscription that I swear that I canceled multiple times. And I want to talk about what happened and then what happened. The company in question is Artlist, a subscription-based royalty-free music service. That doesn't actually look correct. Are you sure you're on the right site? That looks like AI slop generation. Scroll down just a little bit. Oh, there it is. They were hiding it. That's not what their site used to be. All you need to do is go back a few years and you have this music service that's boasting the best license in the world, which was kind of true, honestly. At the time, it was a pretty good option for music that sounded like real music but didn't have a ton of personality. Imagine, Envato maybe had 10 great songs if you dug far enough through the cheesy corporate sounding garbage. And when I say cheesy corporate, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That hyper optimistic parody of corporate marketing, except it isn't a parody. Companies still use that kind of so hopeful you want to throw an office chair out the window kind of sound while they talk about we're family or hey, we're the only company that you can trust. Or apparently it's the kind of music that Home Depot selects for their how-to videos.
With some planning and a little know-how, your ceiling fan installation should be a breeze.
Having access to nicer sounding music all for a subscription instead of paying per song, per project was incredible. Artlist also emphasized a forever license, so downloading assets under this license meant I could use it in a project forever and ever, even after your subscription expired. They even sent you an email with links to download the songs and the license. Artlist was great because not only was their music more useful for client work, it was a huge differentiator with that license that the other music subscription service at the time, who is not sponsoring this video, so I am only going to be referring to them as the other music platform. They required an active subscription to not get content ID'd when you uploaded that video to social media. I'm saying all of this because since then, Artlist has changed. The ethos of what they had built their platform on and their integrity on how they work has just degraded over time. Now, they also require an active subscription for you to be able to use their music, and that forever license, those old email links just give you 404 errors. And now everybody has a subscription plan, but at that time it was like Artlist and the other music platform. So what exactly was my fight over with Artlist? I already mentioned that my subscription should have been canceled on multiple occasions, but the last definitive time when I was sure that I had canceled this service is when I decided to switch to the other music service in July of last year. Fast forward to December, I was looking through some music and downloaded a couple songs. Turns out I was on Artlist and not the other site. This was definitely a mistake on my part. I had just woke up, I thought I had clicked through the right tab to show me some music, and I just started listening and downloading a couple songs for a project I was working on. But remember, I thought I canceled, and I was thinking, I must have some time left on this subscription. I went to check out when my subscription expires. My subscription had renewed literally 4 days earlier for $322. That can't be right. First thing that I did was immediately go to them to get a refund. Apparently, through Artlist, there are 2 conditions for a refund. You have to be within 14 days and cannot have generated a license. Downloading a song generates a license. Whatever. I don't care. Revoke the license. Ban me for life. I was never supposed to be charged in the first place. Their response was no. Basically, we can't do that at all. As they explain it, when you download content from Artlist, automatically triggers royalty payments to the artist who created it. Fine, whatever. Like, keep the 50 cents. Because look, I have an entire year ahead of me. I could download up to 40 songs per day. If I max that out every day, how much can you really be paying every single time that I download one of those songs? But anyway, I was getting nowhere with them, and I decided to escalate this and filed a dispute with my bank. A couple days later, I end up getting 2 emails from Artlist. One, that my account has been canceled, and two, that a refund is on its way. A couple weeks later, the credit that was applied to my account from filing the dispute had got reversed. And I checked to see if maybe the bank had reversed the credit because Artlist was going to issue the refund, and maybe that's why they had sent me that email, but no. So it turns out my dispute was denied at the bank on the grounds that we cannot circumvent company policy, which then, like, I'm sure every single company would be able to say, yeah, it's our policy not to refund people. Yeah, that's kind of the reason that this whole system is set up in the way that it is. As I would clarify, having conversations with their support, those emails were in reaction to the chargeback that they received from the bank. So when they get the chargeback, they automatically cancel the account and for some reason send a refund email. And this whole thing just sort of turned into a back and forth. They tell me it was refunded and then send me the chargeback notice, and then they'd close my support ticket, which meant that I'd have to start the process all over again. And that happened to me 5 times before eventually I managed to get this escalated, and after a bit of back and forth, I got this email.
A chargeback was filed through your card provider for the $322 payment. The subscription tied to that payment was canceled. After the review was completed, the chargeback was resolved in Artlist's favor. Because of that outcome, the funds were not returned, and we will not be issuing any refunds from our side. At this point, your account remains canceled and there are no active paid subscriptions on it. There will be no further charges unless you choose to subscribe again in the future.
They're out here telling me that they got my money, but don't worry, your account is canceled. What the hell, guys? And at this point, it's like, what else could I really say? I just replied back with 3 words in all capital letters, reinstate my account. But now I actually want to take a second and talk about why I'm so adamant that I had canceled this subscription. So a few years ago, I realized that I was paying for Netflix for like almost a year without realizing it. That was my fault. I had got busy, there was nothing that I wanted to watch, and I went about my life totally forgetting that my subscription was still active. It's not like Netflix sends emails every month letting me know, hey, congratulations on another month of Netflix, have a great Flix day. If they did, I guarantee that I would have taken maybe a month or 2 to realize, hey, I'm kind of paying for this and not really getting much out of it anymore. Why don't I go and cancel that? That whole situation was just sort of the last straw in realizing that a company just will not ever have my best interest in letting me know things, but also I can't trust myself. Since then, I have a strict policy, one that my bank will probably completely ignore. When I pay for a subscription, I cancel that subscription immediately. I do not let subscriptions linger unless it has to do with my data, my privacy, or my security. I cancel. And after dealing with this for months, going back to the last time that I absolutely should have canceled when I had signed up for the other music service, I went to go double check my account, and guess what? My status is canceled. How did I manage to cancel that account and not the Artlist account when that was the whole point in the first place? Dark patterns is a term coined by Harry Brignall about a certain... Ow! Okay, we could do this with the light on. It's not that big of a deal. Harry Brignall is a UX designer and researcher who coined the term dark patterns about trends in online design and interactions that are meant to manipulate users into making or avoiding choices that users may not want to make. I do want to acknowledge that he now prefers the term deceptive patterns instead of dark patterns, so understand that I'm going to use deceptive patterns from here on out. For almost 2 decades now, we've known about these methods and how they kind of affect behavior of users to the point where I guarantee you've been tricked by one. For example, like you're signing up for a service and all the way at the bottom, you have the thing you have to click, you're accepting the terms and conditions, but there's also another checkbox that is sign up for our newsletter. It's already been checked for you. I just want you to imagine for a second if some of these things were happening in real life. All right, here's my info.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I want to make sure that you don't send me anything that doesn't specifically have to do with my account.
But you checked the box.
Oh, that was a mistake. Can you remove that, please?
Don't take that.
It's a thing that is so common, we pretty much expect to encounter it every single time. On his site, deceptive.design, there are examples of some other core patterns, and this is just me personally, but I kind of considered not getting a payment confirmation as a deceptive pattern, but none of the categories really fitted, and other papers on the topic don't really mention that. But let's talk about a couple of these that I know I encounter a lot, like confirm shaming, where the user is emotionally manipulated into doing something that they would not have otherwise done. I want to cancel my subscription.
Are you a punk bitch?
No?
Only a punk bitch would do that. I'll cancel your account if you say you're a punk bitch first.
I am a punk bitch. I want to cancel. Or visual interference, where you expect to see information presented in a clear and predictable way, but it is hidden, obscured, or disguised. Hi, I would like to cancel my subscription.
A what? Can fish?
No, I want to cancel.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, pick a hand.
The right one.
Ooh, nice try. It was in the left hand.
I would like to cancel my subscription. I choose the left hand.
Ooh, no, it was in the right. Better luck next time.
Hard to cancel is a classic, where it's making subscribing easy to do, but canceling hard to do. I would like to cancel my subscription.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we don't do that here.
Wait, I signed up here. You're telling me that I can't cancel here?
Oh, no. You can, it's just you need pre-approval before I could actually do that. In order to get that, you need to send a handwritten note to headquarters, not using AI. They know how to detect that. And then they give me the thumbs up, and then I get you handled.
Okay, then what's the address?
Address D's nuts.
And let's be real, like making you go through any sort of complicated process that is more than just a couple clicks to be able to cancel is pretty douchey behavior. Oh, hey. Artless replied. Let's take a look, shall we? Ow.
My account has been restored. Given the kind of back and forth that we had, I immediately wondered if they had charged me again. I did check, and that appears to not be the case. However, it looks suspiciously like my subscription is set to auto-renew, which I'm sorry, but hell no. Which does mean we need to cancel this ASAP. I'm gonna ask you, dear viewer, looking at this page, how do you cancel? This isn't a trick question. It is somewhere on this page. If you're thinking, well, this has to do with my subscription, am I missing the link in the subscription box to manage or cancel my subscription? The answer is no. It's in the payment section. A button that doesn't look like it should be a button. When you click it, it gives you the option to look at your subscription info, which was already on this page. And when we select subscription info, it pops up a full screen box that now has the cancel renewal text link. Click that, you get sent to a survey page. I gave my best critique of their service, and look, I'm actually fine with having an additional click in order to cancel so you don't accidentally do it by being in the wrong place and just accidentally clicking the wrong thing. And I'm even fine with having a survey as long as it's skippable. But once you fill out that survey, we get sent to a scary page with scary red X's and a warning looking thing. And in order to proceed, I have to click a box that says I have read and understood the consequences of canceling my subscription. Y'all, I'm canceling a stock music subscription, not harvesting a kidney. What the hell is this supposed to be? If this is meant to mitigate certain kinds of support tickets, you need to ask yourself, who is the problem here? So by the time that somebody gets here and you think you need to strike fear in the hearts of your customers because they've gotten here accidentally somehow, either you are intentionally trying to manipulate people, which makes you the asshole, or you need to be more clear about your service and its restrictions. And given the fact that they felt like they needed to hide all of this, tells you a lot.
It just sucks that we live in a time where trust is just so naive that what we are told today may no longer apply tomorrow, and we have to constantly be on the defense to not get duped by playing stupid games. I wish there was more value in having integrity, not actively trying to manipulate people to get them to engage, instead of providing an offering that's so compelling that no one wants to leave. And at least for now, the other music service seems to be standing its ground. It's even a simple process to cancel, but when will that end? Because when it comes to these things, there just doesn't seem to be a penalty for being an asshole. Now that I have full access again, what am I gonna do with that power? Because I certainly don't want to use the music for any projects. I am allowed to download 40 songs per day. You want to know what 400 songs sounds like played at the same time? Content ID that, motherfucker. Even if you could, I could play that anyway because I'm an active subscriber. I don't know. I guess that's it. Maybe I just do the puppet dance from Bye 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 while 400 songs plays at the same time. Because now they have my money and my account is like how Taylor Swift likes her friends. Canceled. Did I really keep that in the script? I should be banned from everything.